fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, fucking Game of.
Welcome to Game of Thrones Chat, Season 5, Episode 15. Top 10 Crazy Fan Theories. I am Dan, I am unsullied. I have not read the books in A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'm double solid because I've read the books twice.
Let's get crazy!
Yeah, and let's do the spoiler alert here.
Spoiler alert!
These fan theories are based on both the TV series and the books, and although the TV series is pretty much caught up with the books, there's still plenty of information in the books that gives you hints to what will happen in the future. So if you absolutely don't want to get spoiled, don't listen to this.
No, turn it off now!
But if you want to get somewhat spoiled, it's not that spoily, but rather have one warning too many, one too few, I guess.
Yeah, crazy fan theories. Let's get going.
And talking about the crazy fan theories, we gave me this assignment to list the top 10 crazy fan theories. Not all of these are kind of crazy. Some are just interesting or funny or both. But the title, Top 10 Crazy or Interesting or Funny or both kind of random fan stories.
Too long!
Too long! So I listed 10 of these things. And let's see if you find them interesting in some way.
Number one,
the dragon has 3 heads. So we have seen Daenerys ride her dragon.
Oh yes.
Well, one of her dragons at least. And there's 2 more dragons, but there's no dragon riders as of yet.
And a dragon rider has to be a Targaryen.
That is the theory. We can't be sure, but that's certainly tradition. Although in the past there has been instances where people that were non-Targaryen were able to ride dragons also.
Okay.
But certainly if you're a Targaryen, it's a big plus.
Yep.
I would think. So who's going to be the second rider? Well, there's 2 other people that people consider, and one is Jon Snow. And Jon Snow, you say, he's not Targaryen? Well, there's this theory that he's actually the son of Rhaegar and Lyanna, Ned's sister.
Yeah, like we said in last episode, and then we said that it wasn't that way.
But it could be that way. Well, you said it wasn't that way. I still think it's that way.
Okay.
So if then he's Targaryen, and that means that he's eligible somehow, and also he's a warg. He can in the books it's somewhat explained that he can warg into his direwolf ghost.
Yeah.
Although he does it when he sleeps and he thinks he's just dreaming when he's actually warging into it the same way Bran is warging into his direwolf Summer.
Yeah.
But Bran has been taught by Jojen, no, you're actually warging and trained by him.
So Jon is an untrained warg.
Yes, he's a really good natural warger. And
we haven't seen any of this in the show.
No, we haven't seen any of this in the show, and in the books there's also a chapter where you see it from the viewpoint of a very good warg called Sixskins. He's with the people north of the wall, beyond the wall.
Yep.
And he's called Sixskins because he has a menagerie of a polar bear and some cougars, like shadow cats and the wolves and stuff. So he's constantly warging into different ones and riding his polar bear into battle and so on.
Mr. Petsu.
Yeah, and then when he meets up with Jon Snow, the first thing he thinks is, God, this guy is a really strong warg. And the second thing he thinks is, wow, he doesn't realize that he's a warg.
Oh.
What a waste. He has a direwolf and everything. I would love to warg into that direwolf. So it seems like he's a warg, and we know that the Bran is a warg, and probably all the Stark kids are wargs, I think. But warging might be an advantage when it comes to riding a dragon.
Yeah, that seems like an advantage.
It could be like that it's related, or maybe it's that it's bad. Maybe you can't warg into dragons because they're so different. We don't know.
So which dragon?
I don't really know if it's going to be Viserion or Daenerys is riding Drogon.
Yeah.
And then there is Viserion and Rhaegon.
Yeah, and they are very similar to each other.
Yeah, I don't really care which one.
Okay.
Do you care which one? Yeah, no. Either. Okay, and the third one is the third dragon rider is Tyrion Lannister.
What?
But he's not a Targaryen, or is he? And there is some indications because Joanna Lannister, his mother, who died at his childbirth, the Mad King liked her.
Oh.
He liked her, and so there might have been some stuff there, so to say.
You are no son of mine.
You're no son of mine. Yeah, and when Lord Tywin's favorite sister told him that no, Jaime is not your real son. Like, he's not the one that's close to you. I mean, Tyrion is more like your real son, or something like that. It's the same thing as you're no son of mine. Yeah. So maybe he isn't, like you say, maybe he isn't a son of his.
Ooh.
And so that's possible. And also in the books it's described that he has lots of dragon dreams. He dreams of flying a dragon and being a dragon. Of course, there's probably 1,000 people in Westeros that dreams about that. But so there's some indications to this.
Interesting. Tyrion on a dragon, yeah. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, Tyrion and Jon and Daenerys. 3 Targaryens with different backgrounds.
So that's the end scene then. The Tyrion, Daenerys and Jon breathing fire from the dragons on the White Walkers.
That could be. We don't...
Fire and ice.
Fire and ice. Yeah, that's fire and ice. Absolutely. Okay. So that's it. I mean, this is somewhat crazy, but not that crazy. It sounds reasonable. I mean,
sounds too good.
Sounds too good. Okay, let's go for something a little bit more crazy. The theory is that Howland Reed is the High Sparrow, or the High Sparrow is Howland Reed.
What?
And who is Howland Reed? Well, Howland Reed is the father of Jojen and Mara, who is guiding Bran north.
Yeah.
Well, Jojen died, but you know who I'm talking about. And
yes.
And when Ned Stark went south to the Tower of Joy after the war of Robert's Rebellion, they had to fight the Night's Guard to get to his sister, and everybody died except Ned and Howland Reed.
Yes.
So the only people who can tell the story about this, and can tell the story that Lyanna and Rhaegar are the parents of Jon Snow, is, okay, Howland Reed is the only one left then.
Okay.
So if Jon Snow is going to learn about his parenthood, someone has to tell him. And Howland Reed is pretty much the only person left.
Okay.
But
how does that make him the High Sparrow?
But yeah, it's more fun if you take a person that's already in the show, like High Sparrow. Otherwise you have to introduce another character. And they don't like to introduce more characters than they have to, so why not reuse an old character like the High Sparrow? It's kind of out there, it's kind of crazy. But the High Sparrow doesn't seem to like the Lannisters, do he?
No, but I have tried to not spoil myself with season 6, but I think I saw that Howland Reed was cast in season 6.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Maybe I was mistaken.
I
hope I was mistaken.
But
let's make him the High Sparrow.
Okay, so the High Sparrow until then. But
yes.
Okay, so if he's cast, that's very interesting, because that means, I mean, the only reason to bring him into the story is to tell Jon Snow that who's his mother is.
Maybe Mira needs a father, but she's pretty out of reach.
She's hanging out in that cave with the Bloodraven and Bran and Hodor.
And the green guy.
The green guy.
Mm.
The Children of the Forest.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Oh, well, nice.
Okay.
Next theory.
Okay, so let's go for something a little bit more crazy then.
Number 3.
Ned Stark is actually Eddard Stark. Think about it. Ned Stark, he's the Lord of Winterfell. Eddard Stark is the Lord of Winterfell. Ned Stark is married to Catelyn Stark. Eddard Stark is married to Catelyn Stark. They both have a son named Robb Stark.
Yeah.
So I think Ned is Ed. Ned's Ed, baby. Ned's Ed.
Yeah, you never see them in the same place.
Yeah, exactly. So it's his secret identity.
Okay, yeah.
So Eddard's secret identity is Ned Stark.
That's crazy!
It's crazy, but I also think it's true.
I think it's true, yeah.
Okay.
Number 4.
Hodor. What's his story? So Hodor, it's not really his name. His name is Waller, but the only word he's saying is Hodor, so that's why people call him Hodor.
Yeah.
What does Hodor mean?
Good question.
if he was Swedish, he would be saying Höder.
Okay.
Because Höder is the translation of Hodor, or Hodor is the translation of Höder. Do you know what Höder is?
Wasn't that the Norse god?
Yes, he was a Norse god. And he was the god of what?
I should know this.
I didn't know until I looked it up.
Okay. He's the god of...
Winter.
Oh.
He's the god of winter. Why is Hodor going around saying, the Lord, the god of winter, the god of winter, the god of winter?
Ooh, because winter is coming?
I bet winter is coming. But maybe, okay, so maybe it's just because winter is coming and he's at Winterfell and winter is kind of their thing. Or maybe the Great Other, some kind of Night's King, White Walker leader has possessed him. And he's telling everybody that winter is coming, winter is coming. So maybe maybe Hodor will crush Westeros or sit on the Iron Throne or...
I feel this theory needs more work.
I think you're right, but just the fact that he's saying Hodor and it's Höder, it's just this is theory. Yeah, like you say, it starts off very good.
Yeah,
it is a good ending. This theory.
It's a better payoff.
It is, exactly, but it's fascinating that he's saying Höder or Hodor.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird that I lost track of the numbers. Is it number 5 now?
Yeah, now it's number 5. Roose Bolton. His name is actually Roose Bolt On. The reason he's flaying people is because he puts on their skin when his old skin gets too old. So he's actually a vampire, 10,000-year-old vampire or something.
But shouldn't somebody have noticed that? Okay, he takes on new skins.
Yeah.
And claims that he's his own heir.
Yeah, exactly. So he skins his own heir.
So why does he... So he will skin Ramsay?
Yeah, he will skin Ramsay, put on his skin... okay, I'm not saying this. I did say most of the theories were crazy, right?
Yeah. That would be so bad in the show. In the first episode of season 6, he just flays his son and takes his skin. That would be surprising.
You don't say.
Number 6.
But there has to be a reason it's called Bolt On. He's bolting on his skin.
Number 6.
Number 6. Number 6. The Hound is alive.
Ooh. Yeah, we never saw him die.
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes after Arya left him, maybe some doctor came along and healed him back to health.
Unless there is a maester behind that rock.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe there was a maester behind that rock.
Ah.
And so now he's recuperating. And what will he do then when he comes back? When he makes a comeback? Well...
Kill everyone.
But who does he want to kill more than anybody? Do you think? Well,
his brother.
His brother.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is not really expressed in the book, in the TV series, but in the books, it's expressed that the Mountain is the champion of Cersei.
Yeah.
So if there's ever going to be like a trial of combat, he's going to fight for her, and he's going to be unbeatable.
Yes.
Or pretty much unbeatable. But maybe Sandor. I mean, nobody's going to want to fight him anyway.
Yeah.
Except maybe Sandor.
Okay.
The Hound. So maybe they will fight, and then who knows who's going to win. I mean, if this was a regular story, the Hound would win, but this is Game of Thrones, so maybe they both die or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, while we're talking about the Hound, there's also the theory that he will marry Sansa.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's sweet. Yeah, she deserves a nice, kind man. Okay.
I might jump ahead to... do you have another... The Hound theory, or was that it?
That was it for the Hound.
Because there was some clue in the books, right? That he was a silent brother.
Yeah, he took religion.
So they encountered this weird silent brother who...
He's a gravedigger.
Could be the Hound.
Yeah.
Because it's not anyone who would recognize the Hound who finds him, right?
Exactly. A person who we know... Do you want me to tell you who it was?
Yes.
Yeah, Brienne. She's traveling around in the Riverlands and the Kingslands and so on.
Yeah, she never met the Hound in the books.
I don't think she ever met the Hound in the books.
She obviously met the Hound a lot in the show.
Yeah, lots and lots, but they never fought or anything in the books. But she meets up with someone who's a grave digger, and he kind of fits the description. and he also came in on a horse, and the horse also fits his horse's description.
Oh.
So it seems that he's now a gravedigger. In the books, he's a gravedigger and might not never return to like famous life or anything.
In a monastery or something.
Yeah, exactly.
On an island.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Why do I know these things if I am unsullied?
because you have read stuff that you're not supposed to read.
I'm busted.
You're semi-solid.
Yes.
So this is what I had for the Hound then. And now I'm supposed to go with number 7. And Number 7, Jack and Hagar. He is Arya's imaginary friend. He doesn't actually exist.
I thought you would say that he was the red god.
Well, one doesn't exclude it.
He doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Because Arya did all the stuff herself.
maybe she did, or maybe she just thinks that that he did it. Maybe somebody else did it, or I mean, think about it. He after a while there, he just goes from super assassin to just magical being or something. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe she's just dreaming him up or fantasizing about him.
That doesn't mean the faceless men are her imaginary friends.
Maybe there are faceless men, but maybe she's imagining that she has met the faceless man, although she hasn't. Maybe she's just dreaming. Maybe 2 books from now, we will realize that she or Bobby Ewing was just dreaming the whole thing.
So, has anyone else interacted with Jack and Hagar? Not really, right?
I think. I mean, in the books, every chapter is like seen from a point of view of one of the characters.
Yes.
And I think that he is only in her point of view. So
yeah, and in the show, nobody else talks to him. He is in that cage.
yeah.
But does anybody mention him?
But she could have imagined that people were talking to him, or
Oh, okay.
so it's. I mean.
But
yeah,
there should be a clue.
yeah, you want to go like Sixth Sense, like where's the clues, and
Yes.
but it might not be as perfect as that.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
and
I think he's real.
I think it's real too. Number 8.
Number 8.
Lord Varys is actually a Targaryen. So, what are the first of all, he is bald.
Yeah. So we don't know his hair color.
We don't know his hair color. Is he shaving or is he just naturally bald? I mean, very few people are completely bald. Most people are like balding and then they shave off the rest to have to look good or something. But he's completely bald, and there is in the Dunk and Egg stories, which is 3 novellas that takes place 100 years before. There is a boy who is called Aegon who wants to be incognito, and he's a Targaryen, and he shaves his head, so he's called Egg for that reason as well.
Ah, that's the reason.
Well, that's the reason too, but Aegon is also short for Egg is also short for Aegon.
Yeah.
But he shaves his hair so he can become incognito, and maybe the same is for Varys, that he shaves his head because he wants to be incognito.
But where does he fit in the Targaryen family tree?
He could be like a distant third cousin or something. I don't think he's that close, but
Don't we know of the distant third cousins? We have a Targaryen family tree, right? In the books.
Well, there's family trees, but there's a lot of people.
He could be a bastard.
Yeah, he could be a bastard. He could be legitimized bastard, or I mean, there is also the Blackfires, which is like another branch that lives in Essos. So he could be like a Blackfire rather than a Targaryen, because that's a different house, but it's the same gene pool. So
he wants the Targaryen restoration, but not for Daenerys. That would explain why he sanctioned her murder in season 1, which sort of contradicts the Targaryen restoration plan.
No, I think that he's supporting her because he wants Targaryens to come back, because he's a Targaryen himself.
Okay, but it disturbed me that he was behind the assassination attempt.
No, I don't think so. I think that he was behind the assassination attempt, and also about the rescue. He sends a letter to.
Oh yeah, okay. So he was behind the assassination attempt, and then he foiled the assassination attempt
Himself, yes.
Oh, okay.
Because he wanted there to be a failed attempt, so that Khal Drogo would get his ass over the narrow sea.
Ah.
And if you think about it, he's been supporting Daenerys even before Viserys, her big brother, died. So before that, he wanted Viserys to be the king.
Yes.
And who, except a Targaryen, would want Viserys to be king of Westeros?
Nobody.
Yeah, Varys talks big about how he wants the best for the people, but that can't be Viserys.
This is a good theory.
It doesn't. I mean, the only thing, if it's going to make sense, is because maybe there could be other reasons. It could be just political gain or money or something. But the fact that he's supporting Targaryens could mean that he is a Targaryen.
The name is Targaryen-like.
Varys
Targaryen.
Varys Targaryen, Viserion, Viserys, Varys Targaryen.
Yeah.
It's pretty close. And if you think about it, so in his youth, he had his manly parts sacrificed in some magic ritual. And they say that the blood of kings is extra powerful.
Yes.
So somebody wanted that king's blood. Maybe he has some king's blood. I mean, if he's a Targaryen, he is of a royal house.
Yes.
So that's why they picked him and not one of the other boys in Essos.
Whoa, this was the best theory so far, I think.
Yeah, but it's not.
But
it's not that crazy then. So it's not top 10 crazy. It's top 10 interesting.
Yes.
But I absolutely like it. Yeah, it's even more. It's even better than Ed's Ned.
Yeah, I haven't heard these before the cast, so my reactions are natural. And now I'm really curious about the last two. Number 9.
Number 9. It's mine own. I've come up with it myself, although there's probably somebody else who has come up with it before me, and maybe I dreamt that I figured out myself. But this is my theory: George R. R. Martin has already finished the books.
This is a conspiracy theory.
But he realizes that once all the books are out, there will be no more. There will be no speculating on all the message boards all over about who's going to happen here, who's going to be the king of that, who's going to die.
True, and that's great promotion for the books.
Yeah, this builds up so much more interest if there's still a book or two behind, still a book or two left to read. So he's building up interest by not publishing the books.
That would explain why he's so lazy and
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
People never seem right.
It takes him forever to write. How can it take so long? He wrote the first 2 books in 2 years each, and those books, I mean, they did well, but they didn't do super well. But then it takes 4 years for the next one, and now it's starting to pick up pace. And now he has his TV series. I'm not saying I think this is the way, but I think it's possible. Although I've had this theory for a couple of years, and I figured he would then. I mean, I figured he would publish this book 6 about now, or maybe this last fall or something.
Yes.
But he won't. He didn't publish it last fall, and he can't publish it now because everybody would know like several months in advance that he was going to publish it. So.
Yes.
So now it doesn't make any sense anymore for him, because he should be slightly ahead of if he did have the books ready, he will publish the books just before the TV series.
Yeah. But there are only 2 more books.
Yeah.
There seems to be
but I really
some more TV seasons.
Yeah, but I really think that he wants the books to be out before the TV series.
Yes, because now they will diverge.
Yeah, and the book, but because if the TV series comes out before his books, then the TV series become canon, and the books become like second rate. So I'm starting to think that this is wrong, but it's still interesting, and it's not impossible, I think.
Maybe after the Harry Potter books and movies were finished, he saw what happened to J.K. Rowling. He was like, no, I will never finish my series.
Yeah, but maybe he will die tomorrow, and then the books will be published next week.
So kill George R. R. Martin. No, seriously, people, don't kill him. He is not finished with the books.
Yeah,
you have to keep him alive.
Talk about taking risks.
Yes.
Wow. But I mean, there's some merit to this theory, right? So
yeah, I like it.
Theory number 10.
Theory number 10.
King Joffrey Baratheon was actually a pretty nice guy.
Whoa!
There's actually no evidence of this at all, so this is the craziest of all the theories.
Well, they did miss him in season 5.
Yeah,
he would have dealt with the sparrows.
Yeah, I miss Darth Vader in a lot of Star Wars movies too.
Darth Vader was actually a much nicer guy than Joffrey. He had honor and rules.
I think he killed more people if you count the Death Star.
Yeah, but Joffrey would have...
If he had a Death Star, he would use it all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the craziest of all the theories that I had for you today.
I was so sure it was going to be Joffrey still alive.
That's actually a lot more likely.
Yeah, the Joffrey of podcast have brandished this theory for a long time. Joffrey is really faking his own death to come back.
Ooh.
And see who is really loyal to him, which turned out to be nobody. So punishment awaits.
Okay.
Whew, what a ride. So we are going to do one more off-season episode.
At least.
Yeah, we're going to do top 10 fighters.
Of Westeros.
Yeah, is nobody from Essos?
I don't know about your list. I have my list.
Okay. And then we're going to do pre-season predictions for season 6, which starts on April 24, 2016.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, and then of course we're going to do season 6.
Yes.
So, awesome!
Mm-hmm.
Speak to you very soon. In fact, I'm going to speak to you in 5 minutes because we're going to do the next episode right now, but you are not going to hear it for a week at least.
Too bad.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones, fucking Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
Ska inte räkna till 2! 5 ska vi inte heller räkna till!
Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
Jag försvann dock andra gången. Jag tyckte det räckte med en reflektion. Nej. Alternativ verkligen kommer med. Jag hade några andra som jag strök. Jag tyckte de inte var så roliga. Vi lörde snabbt. Oberon förgiftade Tywin Lannister. Och därför han luktade så mycket. Och lite för allt. Ja, Tywin visste om The Purple Wedding. Men han tyckte att det var bra att han blev av med Joffrey för han var för svår och bångstyrig och så. Ja, just det. Sen är det hela den här grejen med... Just det, det får bli en helt annat avsnitt eller någonting kanske.